Hey guys, it's Miss Lawson. Let's talk about using our paint brush and paint on our paper. Now, it's very important that we don't use too much paint, because if you use too much paint, when the next group walk in, they don't have the paint, or you just got too much paint on your paper. And if you've heard Miss Lawson say, paper and paint is like water and paper. If you get too much water on this piece of paper, it's going to rip. So you want to make sure that we're not putting too much paint on the paper. Our goal is to make sure that we cover this whole paper with paint, or whatever area we are painting. And also remember, this paint mat is just here to protect our table. It's making sure that we protect the table, and it's making sure that when we need to clean our brush for the next color, we can clean it. We should not be taking our brush and painting the mat just because we're bored and we're done. Because then if you accidentally put your arm in it, you've got paint everywhere. And if you remember, we don't have time to wash our hands. I don't have little sinks to wash our hands. So when you are getting your paint, let's make sure you watch me so we can understand how much paint to use. First of all, if you didn't know, I have Velcroed these cups to our trays, so that way it doesn't tip over. So that noise you heard, that is me picking it off. So all I did was tip the cup over first before I picked it up. If you just try to yank it up, the brushes fly out of the cup. We don't want that. So again, when you are taking the cup off the tray, tip the brush over to peel it off there, then pick it up. Don't just try to yank it up. Now, when we are painting, again, we want to make sure that we are painting the paper, making sure we spread the paint out, not just put it in one area. Again, always make sure that your brush is straight up and down, especially when we're doing two colors. You want to make sure you go down to the brush, don't move, pick it up, move over to color number 2, go down to the cup, your thing. Kind of like your robot. You're going, meh, 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 and then you mix it on your paper. It's very important that we do this the right way, because we don't want to mix our paint in the cup. We always want to mix the paint on the paper. So watch Miss Lawson and see how I do. And you can see I'm moving all the way across my paper, all the way across. All that white space needs to be filled in with paint. And as I'm moving my brush, I notice no more paint is coming off my brush. That's when I go to my paint mat and I wipe it off on my paint mat before I move to dipping again. Again, you notice my hand is moving all the way across this paper. That's how I want to make sure I spread all that paint out. Again, no more paint is coming off. So now, as you can see, all the white area is covered. This means I'm done. Should I still be going back and getting more? No, because again, it'll stick this paper to the paint mat, and then when I try to peel it off, it could rip. Do I need to sit here and play with my paint around my paint mat? No. You need to make sure as you finish, go ahead and clean it off, flip it where the hair is pointing up, and that's when I would go back and stick it in my house. Leave it there, and then I'm just going to sit here and wait. I can talk to the people that are sitting with me. I can just sit here and look at my paper. Should I be taking my fingers and sticking it in the wet paint? No, because if you do that, you got paint everywhere, and again, we don't wash our hands. So make sure that you're not putting your hands or your arms. You're just sitting here like Mona Lisa, waiting for Miss Lawson to let us know when we are going to be putting our paper on the drying rack and who is getting our paper put back, or tray put back on the counter. Again, please make sure that we're not putting our fingers in the paint as it's drying. Please make sure that we are not over painting. We got to try our best so we have enough paint to make it through the year.